Annie Metzger, and this is Laughing Earth in Cropseyville, New York. 175 acres conserved with the ASA. I run this farm together with my partner Zach and our friend Aaron. We have a 120 member or family CSA, or farm share as we call it, and that's what's behind me is the garden that grows most of the vegetables for that share. We also raise chickens for meat and chickens for eggs. We raise turkeys for Thanksgiving. We raise pigs on pasture for pork. And we're starting to get into cows for beef as well. This has been a farm similar to this for about 25 years now. We bought it from a couple that had started it in the 90s. And they wanted it to stay in farming, doing what they'd been doing, and we were able to transition from them to us. We are lucky in that we live right along busy Route 2. You can see the trucks passing over my shoulder. So we have great access to a customer base, lots of people stopping in on the farm to buy products, and it's easy for us to get to the Troy Waterfront Farmers Market when it's open, which it's not right now. But for right now, we have a great farm store that we're running on the farm, self-service or pre-order, and people can place an order on our website and then I pack it up and they come and pick it up from our fridge and they don't even need to see me. And we also have a bunch of products that are just available for people who drop in to help themselves from our fridge and our freezer. We were impressed by the demand for our food when this coronavirus crisis started. We've had a lot of people hungry for our pork, so we're waiting anxiously for the next batch to get to the butcher and get back into the freezer so people can have food from us again. We're pretty much out of pork right now. And our chickens are just about to go, our first batch of chickens of the season are just about to go out on pasture. And then there'll be another month and a half before we're processing fresh chickens and having those for sale. We grow vegetables for about 120 families every summer. Our share runs from June through October. And we aim to have about 7 different kinds of vegetables in the share each week of the season. So Aaron is in charge of growing all those veggies. And he does a great job. We have about 5 to 8 acres in vegetable cultivation and a couple of hoop houses that you can see down there, the plastic covered structures. What they're doing right now is planting onions, and we use a special plastic mulch that is shiny silver because it helps with the control of an insect called allium leaf miner that's really a problem in onions. So right now these guys are planting thousands and thousands of onion plants for our farm share. I'm coming up on the laying hens, but I just wanted to throw this in here. This is the pasture where the laying hens finished off last season. It greened up so beautifully this spring. At the end of last fall, it looked awful because hens can be kind of hard on pasture. They had just cleared it down to the ground, but then they laid down this great layer of fertilizer. They scratched up that soil surface, and now it is coming back so beautifully. These are our little meat chicks. They're about 2 weeks old. Yeah. And we're going to get another batch tomorrow because we get a batch every 2 weeks all season so that we have fresh chicken every 2 weeks all season. You can put it down. Very cute. Thank you for being a good model. And right now they're in what we call the brooder, where they have heat lamps, they have all the food and water they want, they have a nice soft bed, they're protected from every predator except Willa. So anyway, they'll go out to pasture soon. Every 2 weeks, from the last week of May through the last week in October, people come to the farm and get fresh chicken, or we fill the freezer with chickens and sell them all winter.
puppies because they're so cute.
So behind me are the meat pigs. They are coming up on 6 months old. They were born in the fall from those mama pigs that I introduced you to. And they've been raised in the barn all winter, but again, they've always had access to the outside. Lots of hay, trying to get them the grass as it comes up. But they'll be going to the butcher next week, and then 2 weeks after that we'll have fresh bacon in the freezer, which is always exciting. Their younger siblings that are going to be born in the month of May will be outside from the time they're about a week old, and they will get moved to fresh pasture twice a week. So they will move far away from this winter animal barn, and we have a shelter on wheels that we move along with them that has water on it, and their food gets pulled along behind so that they can get as much pasture as possible. And again, a pig cannot live on grass alone, at least not these pigs. Maybe there are some somewhere, but they do really like pasture. They love to be on fresh ground where they can root around and find good roots and good leaves and whatever else they can find. Earthworms, because they are omnivorous, so they do like to eat both meat and plants. And we try to just give them space to be pigs as much as they can be pigs. And we sell these guys by the cut. You can get just a pack of bacon from us, or some people will pre-order a whole or a half or a quarter of a hog to stock their freezer. And it's really good pork. They turn out very delicious with the great local feed from the mill down in Hudson from Stonehouse, and good grass and lots of fresh air and sunshine. Room to be pigs and root around and dig a wallow in the ground and just, you can hear them agreeing with me. Grunt, grunt, grunt. As I'm sitting here talking about the meat pigs, Merlot had to come over and see me. She says, "Where are the pets? I want more pets." She's such a sweet cow, a sweet pig. She's really more like a cow, just very docile, very friendly. Just wants to be with you. We conserved our farm when we bought it in 2016, partly so that we could afford it, so that we could sell those conservation rights and get the purchase price of the farm lowered a little bit. But the other reason we did it is because then that means that this farm is always going to be a productive, or potentially be a productive farm, where this little creek doesn't have a paved road to a cul-de-sac going over it and then houses. Instead, it's going to be a farm road that leads to pastures and fields. So that makes me feel really good about my chosen profession, that when I walk around this farm and I can think that we've already done the best we can for our daughter and for all the future eaters of this country and this community specifically where we live, that we've already done this big step where we've protected it and helped make sure that it's going to always be growing food for people. And thinking about those people for the future really helps keep me coming out here every day and putting my hands in the dirt, even when they get dry and cracked and my fingernails look appalling. Because this is important. Everybody likes to eat. And it's just so beautiful this way. All this green, and people up there working.